So I've put enough time into this game now to where I think I'm like a solid player, I guess I'd say to an extent. Still kind of hit or miss. I believe in Spanish. um, but yeah, so I've been fairly successful running this character Hail Mary. I like the story. I like the character. I put a few bucks into getting some more hunters that I've liked for a while, and finally purchased them. I got the DLC with the Bone Doctor and the Weird Sister. I only bought it because of the Weird Sister. I think she is just such a cool character model. And I've met very little success with her, but at the same time, I've been running the Prodigal Daughter, which is another cool character that I've had for a while. Actually, that was my first character that I bought in this game. And yeah, for whatever reason, I'm just killing it with Hail Mary, though. This crazy nun, this gun-wielding nun. She's a beast. My loadout with her, I've got like a different skin chain pistol. And I'm running dual those, so I've got like a ton of friggin' shots. So I can always, unload. That's like my boss killer loadout, I guess I could say. And then I'm running a silenced Sparks rifle, which is absolutely friggin' deadly. And since I've been putting more time into getting my skill up, the one thing I've really learned is to be very selective when you push. Only engage when it suits you, and don't be afraid to back out and then move back in. So let's say if I'm going to push an opponent, like a team of two or something like that, if I'm going to push in and being at a disadvantage, I'm not going to do that. What I've learned to do is, like I said, stop what I'm doing, pull out, and then come in at a different angle. Or a different point of origin, I guess, or an entry point, right? And so with that, I've been way more successful in how I do things. And usually they will try to pursue, if they put eyes on you, they'll try to pursue you. But if there's enough distance between you and that player, because I work them up, knock them down, So I've been pretty successful. This is Hail Mary's my highest ranked character right now. At the beginning of these games, I try not to push too fast or too far too fast, because sometimes when you're entering the map, there's hunters that spawn to the sides of you, and if you move too quickly, that means your back is going to be to them, which is what you don't want, and you don't want to find out the hard way. I'm not gonna run those guns. Stop the friggin' burning! Holy crap, dude. Oh, he stepped into the fire. So I'm not going to take this. I'm only here for snakes. $100. And I've been proactively trying to avoid conflict. It's not going to benefit me if I start getting into conflicts I don't need to be in. Yeah, because of that evasive style of playing. Because I'm only trying to get snakes to get further in the season pass. Alright, let's try to find a different mark here. Okay, so it's going to be north. November of my position. Oh my god. Oh, killer, no filler, bro. Oh shit, he's gonna come get me. I'll pick him up first. You gotta be really careful with this knife. Punch that nigga in the face. So I'm glad to see this nun in here. To be completely honest, this chick is dope though. And then obviously I've liked this character a lot more since I've been winning games with her. I'll pick up bounties when it suits me. Like, that's not my main goal, especially during this season. Just because of the nature of the activity. Okay, I'm gonna have to get up there. But I mean, some of these firefights, my heart is like legit pumping. And I'm like, how am I gonna get out of this? I think like 3 heavy blows and then like a light hit would put those guys down. Something cool too, guys, is I can do this at a distance. I keep forgetting I have it. After like this game, I'll remember for sure. But I think that's called like Serpent or something like that. Okay, so north again. And then that's where I just came from, which is south. Because I had to move north, so. I'm oriented in my position. Yeah, you always want to know where you are. Alright, I think I'm going to have more success if I exit this yard. And go around. Possible. Possible. But I'm on the lookout for snake dens right here, boy. Oh, there's a horse right there. I was hoping it'd open inward, but I guess not. I wish I had some decoys. I don't know if that'll throw the zombies or not, though. Why me? Just a sister of His Majesty's most gracious of orders. The nunnery. Sister Superior. Pay no heed to me, God's creatures. Alright, so north was my mark. I'm gonna go hit the prison after this. I'm only looking for event marks. So there's regular marks that I'm sure you've seen the marks a million times before if you've ever played this game, but the event marks look slightly different. They'll have like stuff growing out of the center. It's like thorns or something like that, like thorn shrub bush things. Hard to explain, but it looks cool. But that's obviously the differentiating factor. Wow, that looks like way out in the open. You know what? I got a silent sparks. I could just push straight through that. Just shoot the horse real quick. Not what I want to do, but it's what the game kind of makes you do. Come hither, my child. The one downside when you're doing this in Dark Sight is sounds like a friggin' freight train is rolling by. And I've done that when enemies are present, and it's like not a good feeling. You're like, dude, I'm so glad this is friggin' loud. Like my eardrums are bleeding. Pay no heed. Alright. Let's see what we can make happen over at that prison. That's probably going to be the choke point. I'm going for those marks because they yield guaranteed snake points or whatever. The amount of snakes, and I'm looking for those little baskets. Each basket is like worth 4, I think, unless you break it, and then it gives you an automatic 2. I'm trying to maximize. So unless I'm like in dire circumstances where I need to like get the fuck out, that's the only time I'll really bust one of those baskets. If you approach them too quickly, the snakes inside the basket will, 4 dogs? Come on now, man. This game just throws roadblocks in your way. It's been real quiet, too. Not one shot. Alright, let's handle you. Steel yourself, demon. Just in case that's not a zombie. Alright. Oh, hello, my child. Come hither. Come hither. I played a number of games yesterday, and I mean, dude, I scalped like 5 hunters in one round. 2 the next, like, so I'm consistently getting kills. Right now I'm on the Oceania server. Because it's like, oh, fuck. I was hoping it didn't deplete that health bar. You always want to be at full health no matter what. Like, I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, like you know, like if I were to tell you my strategy is always win, never lose, that kind of stuff, it just sounds stupid, right? But at the same time, you want to keep yourself at, like, full health. Because if you do get engaged, you're going to want that little buffer zone, that extra little bar, whether it be big or small, man. You want that, obviously if it's big, you know, you want that big health bar maxed out. But even if it's small, that's a little buffer zone cushioning your health or whatever, like a little health cushion that you want to keep maintained if you can. Alright, let's get some Do you hear the angels whisper? The whisper of angels. I heard movement. I assume that's a zombie. A walking corpse. An unholy creature of darkness. Devil spawn. Please leave. It legit sounded like someone else was running in there. I dare not dally. I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. Alright, let's bring it on. I'm trying to keep my head down because if there is somebody up there or over there, I'm not trying to invite a target of opportunity. Because this game is all about that. Like playing as shitty, as shiesty as possible, bro. Like if you want something, you go take it, you know, and you go about it in like the most like unethical, unfair, and like opportunistic way possible. Legit, I haven't, dude. Like honestly, like I haven't heard any shots. I think I'm alone. Maybe like one other player. But currently where I'm kind of at, I'm kind of close, it looks like. This is a big region. But when you're positioned further away from the objective, because like the marks like lead you into conflict. Like, you know, it all leads you to closer to the target. So the closer you get to the target, the more likely you're going to encounter somebody else. But if you start crossing regions and stuff like that, like, because there's two bosses right now. There's Region 1, and then there's Region 2. If you kind of bounce back and forth, which I did inadvertently, you're going to be behind everybody at that point. They're going to be getting closer to the target, progressing closer to the mark, while you're just kind of doing your thing in the background. Okay, here, let me do this. I don't have to go out there, so I won't. Wait, hold on. No, that's a regular mark. Wasting my time! Let's go to the nunnery, bro. Dude, surrounded by legions of the undead. Did I just come from there, Testimonial Church? I was at the prison. Pelican Island prison. Okay, so I'm moving away from that. And we're going to be going this way. It's all good. Oh, dude, those dogs, man. I've learned to handle them a lot better compared to how I used to. But that's if I get the space. Like, let's say I'm just running with reckless abandon and all of a sudden I turn and there's a whole bunch of dogs right there. They make you as soon as you make them, and then it becomes a huge problem because you don't have distance now and you don't have the initiative. So, like, that's always problematic. It keeps doing that thing where it kind of... Yeah. Oh! Dude was throwing some footwork my way. Someone's been here, so I'm not alone. They're being extremely quiet. Probably using silenced weapons, or they're just like finessing it. Okay, so if I continue going forward, he should be banishing at some point, depending on how long he's... Unless he's doing the same thing I'm doing. Yeah, there's definitely somebody here. That guy's dead. Usually if I was doing PvP, I'd be looking at that tower, waiting for someone to peek, depending on how hot it was. If I had a feeling someone was up there, then I would. Don't mind if I do. Right over there. This has been real easy. I'm glad I checked that mark earlier too. Looking for those snake bin things. Yeah, you're on. Yeah, dude picked this up too. Wow, he got it easy, bro. I feel like this takes longer. So those are the marks that I'm going for, like strictly those. I'm trying to get paid, dude. Trying to get paid in snakes. Pay me in snakes. That's it. That's what it's all about. Getting paid in snakes. I'll let that dude do whatever he wants. I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe, you know? Is my weapon dirty? No, these are flawless. I'll let my shit get hella dirty. I don't know if there's like negative modifiers to keeping your shit hella dirty though, or letting it be dirty. Alright. I'm gonna avoid Pelican Prison. I'm gonna make my way across. Is that a wagon train? Or rocks, I guess, or wheat or something. Whatever it is, I have no desire. Got them gator legs too, boy. So this chick is maxed out right now with stats. Like, there is no other character I have that is higher than this. What the fuck? The head should have been right there. Obviously not. What's your game? What are you playing at? I'm sorry, horse. Not what I wanted to do, man. You ever, hold a baby gator? Dude, this, knife that I have is fucking sick. Knuckle duster slash knife. I just heard like a big thump. I don't know what the fuck that was. Yesterday I was knocking him down in one hit pretty consistently. I think Scrapbeak is there. It sounds like it. And if Scrapbeak is there, that dude might be there. And I'm trying to avoid conflict. Yeah, that dude is there. He's stirring up, what's his name? Yep. I could smoke dude, but I have no interest in doing that. And that mark just disappeared. Oh, no it didn't. Get the fuck out of here. Shut up. Let's see, where are you extracting to? I would have to go west. Is it a team of one, team of two? Do I want to stop this guy? Oh, wow, look at this. Look at this fucking guy. Narrowly missed that. Dude's smart. But not that smart. I'm gonna have to move west. Is he alone though? To cross over in front of that, I bet you he's somewhere up there. There's a snake nest right there. I could potentially take all his snakes. Scrapbeak is right there. So I was right. Just a lucky guess. I don't think he'd come out this way. But I only think there's one of them. I don't know why I think that. I just feel like there's one. And if he thinks he's completely alone, then he'll go to Quarry. Oh, he knows where I'm at. Oh, no, he doesn't, because... There's two of them. So they'll see me. But they'll go the opposite way. At least they should, unless they're going to go for that second bounty. Get out of here. Friggin' lag. Maybe that sound was distorted and I misjudged that. Maybe there just is one. Let's see where he's going. They're staying put. Is there a door I can shut? No, this is it. Open topped vehicle. I think I get a better position in this next one. And you snake thingies? Alright. So this is about as high stress as it gets, honestly. Like when I'm trying to do this, unless I'm actually in a firefight. Take some ammo. Why not? Damn, there's no windows. What is this guy doing? He's in the same spot still. What the fuck? I think he's waiting to see if anyone else is in this room. I'm gonna outwait him. We've got 16 minutes, which is a decent amount of time. But he's gonna want to start moving if he's gonna take that next bounty. Which I think he'll cross through past me to get that next bounty. I think he's trying to decide whether he wants to make the move or not, or exfil. Okay, so there are two of them. Yeah, but I'm not nearby. Fucking losers. Are they gonna go for it? They're moving. Huh? Fucking go, losers. What are they doing? They're going down a little bit. Getting closer. Okay, so they're passing me. They're that way. Completely quiet. I'll let them stay very far. Alright. So what my job is to do now is to go move over to this southeastern point and tax them on their way out. Fucking dogs. Look at that, the crow's all lined up. You wanna take the road? We're gonna make noise. I hate this extract down here. Fuck off. What the fuck is that? Do not hinder my movement. That boat is of the devil. It tried to stop me. Right here is a good spot. If I can get up on top, I'm going to use that against them. Or I could push them now. Ah, fucking crows. I'll get the element of surprise on them. If this works. Or if this is successful. They're gonna come. And I'll be waiting for them. If they get poisoned or whatever. There. Oh, they know I'm here. If they check that. They know where I'm at. They're using that fucking dark sight. One's pushing and the other's, that's a huge advantage. Motherfucker. Come get your boyfriend. I need a lantern. I need a lantern so I can light that motherfucker on fire. Oh, I almost, lantern, lantern, lantern. I need a lantern. that it? Alright. I just took that fucking scalped these losers. And I'm glad I'm recording this, because now you guys got to see. I was a better Hail Mary anyways. Fucking loser. Dios de las muertes. And then now all that's left is for me to pick up my winnings. Don't pay attention to me. Creature! Alright. Lightfoot would be nice. Alright, let's go collect my bounty. I did nothing to do to collect. Where are you, dude? Oh, right down there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And make sure I looted this friggin' loser. Doth thou not think I am pretty fantastic for that? I just fucking some fucking losers. So that's what I'm talking about scalping. I just scalped both those losers. They did all the work. I literally came in. I came here for snakes. But I got snakes and blood, so I mean, 2 scalps isn't bad at all. Hold up. I can't help it, man. I just saw the opportunity and I took it, so... You know. Yeah, you wish, loser! Oh, there's another one! Holy shit! Gator legs! I got those fucking gator legs, man. It drives all the girls wild. So it's up here, a stagecoach then? Okay. It feels good just to kind of do that every now and then, because you go quiet for so long. Oh, he didn't lead into it. Shit. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. 50 Shades of Survival. That was devious. I think those guys thought that they were alone towards the tail end because they didn't get pushed the first time when they're in the middle of fighting that first boss. It was totally quiet throughout the whole entire thing. I didn't make any noise. Neither did they. I was convinced that I might be in an empty room. But towards the tail end of that, and like, dude, this is a part of the game. The mental aspect of, like, you know, maintaining that quietness, not fucking setting off explosions, like busting off gunshots. And because of that, I was able to run this strategy on them and be successful at it. There's no guarantees that I would have been successful, but there was targets of opportunity. And it's just basically working your way into a position to take, or to positioning yourself to take opportunities like that when they present themselves. So, I mean, like, this is just what I've learned, honestly. And so I'm actually kind of talking it or putting words to it, so I'm talking it out. And this is what's helped me significantly get a lot better at this game. And, yeah, I just can't say enough. And, like, dude, honestly, this has been, like, a consistent thing for me now. Like I would probably say like the last like 4 or 5 games that I've run with this character, um, they've all kind of gone somewhat like this. There are the sneaking battles that I get into. There was like, it was a logwood. We were at a compound where they were taking down one of the bosses. They had just started. It was a team of two. I downed one guy. Like when they're like usually when people are fighting bosses, they'll do a ton of damage to the bosses. They'll get hurt, and then they'll step out of one of the exits or entrances, whatever, one of the doors to the boss lair. If you wait at one of those larger doors, you'll find that person. They'll step out eventually. If you kind of look at what side of the building they're working, they'll tend to go to one exit. They'll stay at one exit or entrance. They'll stay at one door for X amount of time, and then they'll usually cycle over if they're smart. Like usually what I'll do if I'm going into a boss lair is I'll go through there, I'll do a little bit of damage, kind of feel it out, and then what I'll do is like start going around the perimeter, whether it be inside or outside, trying to open as many doors as you possibly can. And then so that way you have more flexibility in taking down the boss. The only downside to that, oh, I finally got level 50, holy cow. This is my first hunter with level 50. And this is day 4 extraction. And I just got a grand slam. And I didn't take one shot at those bosses. So I mean, like, this is this strategy has been run on me. It took me forever to really understand it, but now I'm doing it. And I've been very successful at it. In this last game, it was super helpful to maintain like a close distance, because once I dropped one, I have to maintain pressure. I was like moving around, staying mobile, so not in one spot, making it difficult for that guy to be able to track me. He just knows that I'm moving. He doesn't know where I'm moving to, which puts pressure on him, and he also has a downed teammate. I'm solo. So I just even the odds, and I'm trying to keep that pressure and my presence or influence there, so I can consistently keep him like, okay, I gotta try to heal my buddy, but at the same time, this guy's right over here. I don't know what direction he's going in. I'm moving back and forth because I'm trying to get a lantern to burn that motherfucker's body. Because once you burn their body, it increases the death clock, so it's harder to revive. So that's just one of those things. Sick. And then let me buy some of this health back. Shit. If once you lose it, you can buy it back. And doth not think thou is the best. I don't know if like in Old English it'd be dost or doth. Dost not thou thinketh. Oh shit, my MMR just went up. A full cross. So my MMR is at 4 crosses now. But my match MMR is 3. Weird, that'll probably catch up. Alright, I'm trying to think of what I want to do. I've got 7 points. I've got a good amount of blood bonds. And I'm reliably and consistently making money. I think yesterday I started out with 21,000 bucks, dollars, money. Skrill. Cheddar, bread, dough, shillings, pence. But let's take a look at my best friggin' character. I did consignee, or signee, so I like the artwork that they have on all of these too, but you know, this was expensive. This is 10 points, but at the end of the season, this will go away because it's a seasonal thing, and they'll give me back those points, which is like huge. So I'll get 17 points or whatever at this point now. I don't think I'm going to continue running Hail Mary though. She's like legendary at this point. The first character I've ever had that dinged to 50, so I'm glad I actually looked at this one. The Night Acolyte I'm not so big on. I'd throw her away, honestly. I only got her because she was cheap. Once I heard like the premise or the part of the story about their faction, what was it? It's like the Night Acolyte and then the other dude who's like the Night something. But they both basically aligned with the demonic infestation. They're like welcoming it. And then because of that, they're like benefiting by getting powers. So it's like, yeah, not good. But I heard their story and I was like, fuck those losers. And I got the Mountain Man. Dude, legit, this rifle's $38. It's not bad, but it's not the best either. And I just have the time of my life playing this guy. Like, these guns are straight up what a Mountain Man would use. The model number 3 for show. Like, this is definitely what a Mountain Man would use. Like a flintlock. The fire rate for this thing is not bad either. 42 rounds per minute for that type of rifle. Because if we look at the sparks, what would the sparks have? 38, which is even less. And then what's the Martini Henry at? Frank Thompson, I think. Yeah. 45. So 45 versus 42. I mean, like, so this thing is putting out a lot of firepower too. Like, consistent. That surprises me. The Martini Henry fires faster. Only by like 3 rounds, but still. It makes a difference. It's just like consistently putting rounds down range in a firefight. I run better solo now too. But and all these guys seem to accrue points. But let's take a look at these traits that I have that have helped me out, and hopefully they'll help you out too. Vulture actually came with this character. Like, the first 3 came with this character. Bullet Grubber. That's good for the Dolch, I think. And I want to call it the Stap, but it's not the Stap. It's the Bornheim, number 3, or Model 3, whatever it is. And it's like that auto-loading pistol. It's like $200, like prohibitively expensive for me. And then up until I'm about like 30,000 or something like that, 35, 40. When I'm on my way to 40, I think is when I'll start dropping money on that kind of stuff. But yeah, Bullet Grubber is useful for that. So like recover unfired rounds when performing partial reloads. So if you like got 6 shots in like a pistol or 7 shots or something, you use 4 of those, and you want to top off the mag. Without Bullet Grubber, you'd lose the bullets that are in the current magazine when you go to reload. But with Bullet Grubber, it allows you to hold on to those last 3 shots in this magazine we're talking about. So you'll be able to top it off or reload completely and still hold on to those 3, so you're not losing ammunition. So that's like super valuable, and that's one of the reasons why Bullet Grubber is so expensive. Quartermaster, I think, is really important and probably one of the best ones. It's like the same type of thing. Like if you've ever played Call of Duty, and then you get I can't remember what trait it is, but it allows you to basically carry 2 full-sized weapons. Like, it's basically the same thing, except this is a full-sized weapon and then a medium-sized weapon slot. And so that's like super helpful. That's why I'm able to run this dual pistols and then a full-length rifle, which is the Sparks. And so obviously it can't be understated, because that's more firepower at the end of the day with those chain pistols that I'm running. So I'm going to maintain firing superiority, and at the same time with the Sparks, I'll have a powerhouse of a single shot rifle that fires like relatively quick. It's not too bad if you know how to time it, and it takes time to get used to the timing of the reloads of your specific weapon loadouts. So I would definitely familiarize yourself with that. Beast Face, I think, is a must. I think this has to take place if you're going to maintain stealth at any point. You're going to make it extremely hard for yourself if you don't take Beast Face. And basically, it's going to, you know, the activation circle that you can't see around animals like crows, horses, those types of animals, like dogs too, I think. Oh, it doesn't affect monsters like hellhounds. Okay, never mind. But it reduces the reaction range of those animals, I guess. So now that I'm reading the thing and trying to explain it to you and reinvent the wheel, there's that. Greyhound is a must too if you're going to maintain speed and get from point A to point B, because these are large maps. Greyhound has to be taken. Obviously for my loadout, this is loadout specific, but ambidextrous, because I'm running 2 pistols. Because of that, I am getting the benefits of running 2 pistols with faster reloads. So quicker reloading of matched pairs of pistols, and custom clip reloads for semi-auto pistol sets like the Dolch and the Bornheim. Kite Skin, I think, is super valuable. It reduces falling damage by 50%. I normally wouldn't take an attribute like this, but because the game is the way that it is, I think this has to take place, because there's a lot of positions you're going to be in where you're going to have to drop down and reposition yourself, and the most expedient way to do that is by dropping. And if you're taking a ton of damage, like losing a full health bar every time you drop down, like a set of stairs or something, or off a cliff face or like a little ledge or whatever that's not too high up, like an excessive height, and that's like going to kill you or whatever, but just to evade off of something that's like reasonable, you go off the ground, you're going to take a little bit of damage, but that comes back relatively quick. Kite Skin, I think, is really important. So you can stay mobile and not really cut yourself off if you kind of walk yourself into a corner or off a cliff face or whatever. A ledge, a dock, whatever. That's going to maintain you having more health in your thing. It'll regenerate, and like, you should be good. Adrenaline, I think, is really good. Instantly regenerating stamina while your health is critically low. That will allow you to run away very quickly, even if you're at low stamina. It'll start to at least regenerate that when you need to actually get the hell out of there. Because if you're taking shots, this will help you move away faster. Reposition, and then come back into the situation once you heal up or do whatever. Get that little breathing room to break away and heal. Serpent, I think, is really good too. Using Darksight to interact with nearby clues, rifts, banishable targets, and abandoned bounty tokens. So, like, I mean, you can pick up bounty tokens from a distance. I haven't really used it just because I basically annihilate anybody that I come in contact with. Footwork wins fights, and this game is definitely a testament to that. Now you're basically going to see me taking resistances. This is a whole block of resistance. So poison resistance, it drastically reduces the time needed to recover from poisoning. So you're not going to be sitting there with a wonky vision and stuff like that and unable to heal. This will, lessen that, especially with the Serpent Moon. You're picking up those little baskets full of snakes whenever you get the opportunity to do that. If you approach a little bit too quickly or whatever and you get bitten, that you're not going to be poisoned as long. A hive, sees you, launches this little thing. Say you take down the swarm or whatever through melee damage, because that's the most effective way of getting rid of those swarms, is using blunt melee damage. That will allow you to, recover faster so you can get those heals in once that's needed. It'll also clear provision, so you're going to have clearer vision and the ability to heal much sooner with Mithridatist. Bloodless, obviously really huge. Bleeding will not escalate from light to medium or intense bleeding. That's huge, because zombies, like the basic dudes, if they have axes and stuff, have the ability to cause or inflict bleeding damage, and that can escalate really quickly, especially if they're pressing you, the AI is pushing you, and then you have like a opponent pushing you too, or you're in a really dangerous area and opponent's present and you're bleeding and the zombies are pushing you, exacerbating the situation, making it 10 times worse. Things are unraveling. This will buy you time essentially, because it's not going to escalate into increasingly more damage as time goes on. So bloodless, I think, is really important. The next kind of resistance here is salve skin. The first time I saw this, I thought it said slave skin, and I was like, wow, that's like not a good thing to call that. And then, but it's salve skin. You fucking racist. But like, so anyways, like reduces fire and damage and burn speed by 25%, even when downed. So this is super helpful. So if you are rolling with the homie, that's going to buy you more time. By 25% more time for him to heal you or revive you. And then also when zombies have the ability to inflict that type of flame damage or fire damage on you, or an opponent does, this will make it easier for you to recover, because it's not going to be so damaging. Increased dark sight with Signee by 3 meters, which really isn't that much. And then that's not why I got this. And it boosts event points by 10%. That 10% is what I want, because I'm trying to maximize my snake inhalation. When I'm getting all the snakes, I'm trying to get as many of those mothers as I possibly can. But yeah, I'll get 10 points at the end if I survive. I'm not going to run Hail Mary anymore, though, because she's maxed. There's no reason for me to send her out there, and take the risk of possibly losing her. So yeah, I just can't see myself separating with her anytime soon. So gator legs is what I took last. And then obviously, moving through water, I'm able to sprint faster. And then I also make less noise while crouched in water. So that's also valuable too, because there's been points and certain sectors of the map to where water is really prevalent, like the land is inundated with water. This allows you just like a little bit more of an edge to move through that water a little bit quicker, because if your opponent is on land or solid ground and you're in water and you're in like a precarious position where there's nothing but water behind you, you're on the outskirt of like a compound or something, this will allow you to kind of move just a little bit quicker if you need to, sneak quieter when you need to, in that kind of environment, trying to listen and judge where your opponent's going to be at, what he's trying to do, trying to judge his intentions, and then anticipate like what your next move is going to be, or his move is going to be, right? So this is super helpful in the situations where you're in water, because I've seen a lot of people, and I've had it done to me too, to where I am making so much friggin' noise, I'm trying to sneak, and it's not even worth it because I'm in water. They know exactly where I'm at. They're able to pinpoint just because of the sound that I'm making. And then if I'm trying to evade or run away or reposition, I'm going to be moving significantly slower. So gator legs, I think, is really important too. Lightfoot is really good. I had the opportunity to get that earlier, but my traits are maxed out at this point. So like it just is what it is. But Lightfoot's really good, and that helps you like vault objects, jump down, like just jump in general, land, and climb ladders, whatever, all that stuff quietly. So I'd probably get rid of Bullet Grubber because it's not really doing me a whole lot of favors. Pack Mule is another one of those things that I wouldn't necessarily take. I like the idea of Vulture just because you can loot dead bodies, hunters, even after they've been looted by other players. So this is cool because like this type of playstyle, I'm very opportunistic like Vultures would be. And like I'm trying to avoid conflict if I can. But if conflict finds me, or if I see the opportunity to push and get a leg up on them, that's what I'm going to do. So Vulture's always good because, hitting compounds after the fact. Remember when I was kind of talking about staying outside of the radius? Like those guys are all going and progressing along that path to go knock the target out, whatever that boss is. If you kind of stay a little bit behind them, that's always helpful because I'd rather be facing my enemy's back than him facing me one-on-one. You know what I mean? Because that's going to increase the probability of me surviving. like a fucking rat. And so yeah, I'm gonna take that advantage if I can. I've had these. Uh, the stim shots, I haven't used them. I never use stim shots. I recognize the impact that they have and how valuable they are and what they do and how good they are. But for whatever reason, I just never seem to get in a position to where I can use them. And if I do, I completely forget altogether that I even have them on me. So it's just one of those things I got to get better about. Poison bombs have come in handy. They'll cut off sectors of the map. So if you're in a firefight, I toss those in and then basically make it so I cut off that section. And these last for effing ever. And if somebody stays in them or passes through it, they take poison, and then the damage that comes with that. And it happens rapidly. Dynamite, I use that obviously for, to scare people mostly. I don't really hit anybody. I use it to maneuver people. So if they're in cover, I'm going to toss that on either side of that cover and then push them out into the open so I can start dropping shots on them. And so by the time they're moving, I'm already throwing my last dynamite stick or bringing my gun up because I've tossed both my dynamite sticks, pushing them out, threatening them with like damage, splash damage. And then like once they're out, that's when I'll switch to my brace of pistols and start taking my shots. And so super helpful. But we're going to move on to somebody else who has the potential to move up. Looking for my next second in command. Here, let me do this. I'm going to check this feed real quick. If you get fanning, I think it'll accomplish the same thing with the chain pistols as dual pistols are. Because fanning, you're able to like just fan the shit out of it and get like a ton of squeeze every little bit of rounds per minute out of that thing, like more than you normally do. You're like redlining it hard, which is always what you want. Because honestly, in my personal opinion, like dude, and I think it's just like general understanding is if you can maintain firing superiority and maintain that, and you're working well with a partner or something like that, even if you're by yourself, if you're putting a ton of rounds down range in a smart way, you can keep your enemies suppressed and have them thinking twice before they dip out, or like try to not dip out, but like peek to take those shots. So if you're smart with it, you can lay down a sheet of fire, maintain firing superiority, keep their heads down, keep them, thinking or guessing or double taking. Like, do I want to try to push this or not? Because this guy's like laying down a hell of like a ton of fire. And so with the chain pistol and fanning, I think that's valuable. So like you can get firing superiority like when you are firing. So super helpful. So just kind of looking at it too, this is one of my favorite loadouts. It's not the best loadout, I'll say that right now, but it's effective at what it does. The Caldwell 92 New Army has a rate of fire of 107, but you only got 6 shots. The reload is 10 seconds. That's a long reload. So a brace of these might be good, but you might as well take the chain pistols because I believe it's more cost effective. Like, let's take a look. This is a good gun, so don't get me wrong. Like, this is something that I'd run on a consistent basis. But that's $90. And the Caldwell conversion chain pistol is $50. So, I mean, price point wise, you're going to want to go with that. The Hedera Mortifera, which is really cool, is, that's what I'm running right now with Hail Mary. And that's like kind of my deal right now, just because it's a gorgeous looking weapon skin. I actually picked up the Lord's Prayer. Huge fan of that. Like, this thing is friggin' sick. I'll actually go over some of these. Just kind of showing you what I'm running. The Hedera Mortiferum. Hedera Mortiferum. Mortiferum, something like that. It sounds very fucking Latin. when you got the ums in there. Malleus Maleficarum. The Witch Hammer. That looks sick. That's fucking dangerous. That's so dirty, bro. Oh, wow, that's sick. The idea is cool, but I mean, like, I guess you can cut off sectors of the map. Like, not sectors of the map, but like the battlefield. When you're actually going against somebody, you can use that to your advantage to cut off a pathway and stuff like that. Use that to basically, you know, drive them into a meat grinder if they're going to push you. Well, you control which way they're coming in, essentially. I have yet to use the Berthier. That's how it's pronounced, too, is the Berthier. Berthier. It's very French. Berthier. It's the Berthier. Berthier. They have the label, which is pretty cool. Label. Which is like the beautiful. But I like the historical value of these weapons. I'm sure that they have chopped the gods. I don't know if this is like a proper Obrez. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know that much about Mosins. Like, I know how they work, but I don't know about the variants that were created at different points in time. But I could see this somebody in their garage chopping one of these pieces of history. I don't have a problem with that if you have like a legit version that you're not going to chop, like an original OG. I don't know if the drum mag ever existed for this thing, dude, honestly. Maybe, probably, I wouldn't be surprised, but then again, I don't know. I honestly don't know if they had an app-to-map version of this either. Let's take a look at this. This is interesting. It's like, looks like a self-loading modification. I'm not Forgotten Weapons, but I learned a lot from Forgotten Weapons. I don't know if this is like a real thing. It definitely was a prototype. I don't think this thing was ever fielded if that was the case. It looked like, from the video game standpoint, like their video game logic, that this is like a 5-round burst or something, which I think is really odd, just from the look of it. I don't know if that's true or not. But this, the extended housing on the back, it like makes for a poor cheek weld, I would assume, and then plus you got that bolt, that round orb right there, kicking back at like a ridiculous rate of fire. And I don't know if you'd want to try to integrate a cheek weld to that. If you're a left-handed shooter, that sounds horrible. With a right, if you're a right-handed shooter, I guess, but that open ending on the back of that housing doesn't look good either. I wish I could kind of point this out, like if I had a little pointer on here. And that almost looks like a water-cooled or maybe air-cooled sleeve or shroud, barrel shroud. I've never seen this variant before. I don't know if this variant ever existed. And if it did, it was a prototype and was not put into mass production. It's probably harder from an engineering standpoint to make this thing fucking work. I know it's possible, but I'm sure there's a lot of issues and it's super finicky. And in the middle of warfare, when you're conducting a fucking war and all these like terrible climates, like snowy, muddy, rainy, like the worst of the worst weather, you're out in it. Let's say you're in a desert or something like that. Those granules of sand will get into that action. And with the openings of the housing that I'm seeing here, I could see a lot of issues with this design being fielded. So maybe that's one of the reasons why it wasn't. It's because they couldn't overcome, from an engineering standpoint or technological standpoint, the drawbacks to fielding something like that. When they had things that did it much better anyways, like a water-cooled machine gun that they already had like 1 million of, or like thousands of already, and then trying to, you know, upgrade the Mosin Nagant with that, I don't think was worth it. The design for the conversion on that would probably be so expensive it wouldn't even be funny. And so, in those standards. But I never used the Nitro Express. I've got one, but that's 1,015. It's like I don't even want to like look at it the wrong way because that's so fucking expensive. I feel like I'd damage it or just lose it, you know? I have never messed with the ball blades. That's pretty interesting. I think this is unique to the game. I don't think this actually existed. I've never heard of a historical record or something like that ever taking place. Like, what are those called? They're like pugil charges or something like that. Like, it's basically a explosive attached to the end of like a bamboo shoot. Or some type of like long pole, wood pole. You like run. It's like a shaped charge too. To where it directs the blast for anti-armor to basically just like blast the shit out of a tank and bust through like X amount of meters or centimeters of armor plating. I think it's like a pugil charge or something like that. What is that? I'll look it up. Hold on, I just had somebody hit me up. I don't know if I would respond to them. Here. Pugil charge. No. No, that's not it. Pugil charge explosive. I think the Japanese used them. I can't remember the exact name of it, but I mean, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm getting way off topic here. The Winfield Terminus is sick. I didn't know you could, like, honestly, the music in this game is just like one of a kind. The Lamont, dude, Confederate revolver, shotgun barrel on it in the center, like, absolutely amazing. This thing is a work of art. I wonder how much something like this would run in real life. Lamont Mark II pistol for sale. This has got to be super pricey. 1856. Global Arms is selling them. Wow. It's a black powder revolver? Holy cow. I might get this because I was thinking about getting into black powder guns in real life. Pieta Lamont Cavalry 44 caliber black powder revolver for $899. So for $900 plus some change for tax, you could own one of these. What a gorgeous firearm. This is classy. That hammer is no joke. That is like a commanding type of pistol. You'd call that the fucking Judge, dude. Holy cow. I know they got a real gun called the Judge, like a revolver called the Judge, but that's not what I'm talking about. And I'm sure they have offshoots of different pistol variants or whatever that are called Judges as well, or maybe even rifles or shotguns. But that's not what I'm talking about, so don't get it twisted, aight? And this is something I've wanted forever. I just don't like the Winfield so much. The Winfield repeating rifle. Great gun, don't get me wrong. I just don't really gravitate towards it. The Martini Henry is my friggin' favorite gun of all friggin' time when it comes to these like older firearms. Absolutely gorgeous gun. The ruthless efficiency, bare bones style of this gun. It's not flashy, but at the same time there's a level of elegance to it with that lever to open up the breech to reload the round. is just awesome. And I think it automatically kicks it out with an ejector. When it slides down, it shoots that shell out. So there's like this bridge of like bare bones simplicity, a level of elegance. It's not too elegant though. And then also like this, I don't know, it just got this chunky feel to it. It's a beautiful weapon. I like how it's chopped in this one too, so it's a carbine length. I've seen elongated versions, but I think as it was consistently upgraded, so the different marks of the weapon came out and it evolved, I think it became shorter as time went on, because the value of that short type of rifle, the engagement range, and like what you're doing with that tool, because guns are tools, is like, you know, made it into what it is. And I think the lever on some of the older models were longer. I'm not 100%, or they might have been short and then they made it longer because for ease of use and stuff like that. Just beautiful. It's a gorgeous weapon. And then with the Deadeye scope, like, this is just gorgeous in my mind. No. Oh, I forgot to select it. I remember this system's kind of finicky when it comes to that. Where are you? Just a gorgeous weapon, really. To me, this is beautiful. Like, honestly. So simple. Like, you look at modern guns today, I don't feel like you see this, like this type of style. The action is like, you got 3 friggin' screws holding this action together. And it's like a flat-faced, like, you know, non-ornamental. It's just like, that just strikes me as like ruthless efficiency. A ton of power behind that. It's like, in its heyday, this was very, very powerful. Very cool. I'd like to fire one. I'd like to own one as well. But yeah. I like the Vetterli. I don't like how ornamented it is. You can tell it's Italian for sure. Italian make. Here. The action is just like super ornamental. I think it just really speaks to the time that it was created in, and just who created it. Like, that ornamentation on the back of that receiver is just really odd to me. But it's like elegant in a lot of ways. I honestly remember the Vetterlis being longer. I'm sure they did come out with the carabiners, but I don't know if they were like standard issue or like the main deal. I think these were antiquated by the time World War I came around. But the Italians probably ran these. I'm not exactly sure. My knowledge of World War I isn't as solid as a lot of the other conflicts that I've studied, so I know just enough to get in trouble, you know. But this is a gorgeous weapon as well. Would I pay top dollar for it? Would I, like, you know, lose sleep over missing out on something like this? Probably not. I do like it. It reminds me kind of the Gewehr with that top sight. Or the Mauser Kar 98K. And then the renditions before, because the renditions before had like a kind of like a sight vizier similar to this, but it was longer. This one is more compact, and it's not flowing as much as like a carbine would, or a Mauser would. I owned an Argentinian Mauser at like 7.5, 7.65, something like that. But the round, when I bought the rifle, thinking it was chambered at 8mm, and then turns out it was at 7.5, 7.65, whatever it was. Some really wonky round. And they're hard to come by, which makes it like expensive to shoot the rifle, so I ended up selling it. but it was definitely collectible. It was German made, but sold in Argentina, or sold. It was made on contract by Mauser for Argentina, which makes it a German Mauser. It was not manufactured in Argentina, but because Argentinian is there, people like you can't charge as much as if it was like a German for the German Wehrmacht at any point in time, So interesting gun stuff, right? The Model 3, it's a Schofield. In reality, I believe it's a Schofield. But there might be a reason why they didn't use Schofield, probably because of legality stuff. And I think Springfield 1886 is actually legit, like the name of the rifle, Springfield. Springfield Armory went out of business a long time ago. Springfield is around today, but it's like not the same company. It's just like the same name. But I mean, to me, this is gorgeous. This reminds me of Brown Bess or whatever, but quite different. That trapdoor method or the breech loading method is quite different. The Brown Bess was like a muzzle loader, so you'd have to like load the round through the muzzle or the barrel, powder charge, ball, stuff it down in there, and then like do your deal. And so I think this is a pretty cool design, unique, and like a step in the right direction for firearms. Because I mean, muzzle loading is one thing, but breech loading is a complete other, and breech loading is simple, more rounds downrange, altogether better, because cartridges were a thing at that point. Like all-in-one cartridges, where the powder charge is in there, the primer, and then like the bullet all encased in that casing. So, good stuff. Let me go to roster. I'm going to answer this call. I'm going to see what's going on because these guys are talking to me about potentially getting back into a situation that I might want to get into. So I'm going to end this live stream right now and we'll see what's going on.